Magnus Carlsen has just been crowned champion of the Esports World Cup 2025 after defeating Alireza Firouzja in the grand final. Magnus dominated from start to finish, and it all ended with a thorough beating of the Norwegian over the French-Iranian player. Next, you'll see the first game of the opening set of this final, which was undoubtedly one of the most instructive games. A game we can learn a lot from and really enjoy. Okay, without further ado, let's get to the game. White pieces for Carlsen, black pieces for Firouzja. The game begins with d4, knight f6, Indian defense, c4, e6, knight f3, d5. This transposes into the queen's gambit declined. g3. With this, we enter the Catalan Opening, one of the favorite weapons of the world's super elite grandmasters. It's a highly strategic opening. In this type of battle, you rarely see direct attacks against the Black King. Instead, it's all about subtle maneuvering and the gradual accumulation of small advantages, most of them connected to the powerful white bishop that will soon be fianchettoed to g2. From there, it will dominate the center of the board and also exert pressure on Black's queenside. The game continues with bishop d6. This is a secondary option. Here more common is d takes c4, entering the open variation of the Catalan Opening. Let's get back to the game. As I said, bishop d6 was played by Firouzja. Carlsen bishop g2. Castle. Castle. Both players now castle, bringing their kings to safety. Quick side note, don't forget to support this video with a like and a comment. It really helps the channel. That way, the algorithm will recommend these videos to more and more people. Thanks so much for your support. Okay, the game continues with knight c6, knight c3, d takes c4, queen a4. White wants to recover the pawn as soon as possible. e5. Black threatens to win a pawn on d4, while also opening the diagonal for the queenside bishop. d5, attacking the knight. Knight b4. Black attacks the pawn on d5. Knight takes e5. This is not a knight sacrifice, because if bishop takes e5, you'll notice white can respond with queen takes b4. So, Firouzja prefers to reply with knight b takes d5. Carlsen plays knight takes c4. Knight takes c3, attacking the queen. b takes c3. This is forced. Bishop c5. Bishop e3, challenging Black's powerful bishop. Queen e7. Rook a b1, threatening the b7 pawn with two pieces. The rook on b1 and the Catalan bishop on g2. c6. Bishop takes c5. Queen takes c5. Queen b4. Carlsen offers a queen exchange, aiming for a queenless middle game. A more technical phase of the game where, without a doubt, he is the best in the world. How does Firouzja respond to this? He plays queen h5. Avoiding the queen exchange, not only to deny the Norwegians' plan, but also because Black's player want to attack. He is well known as an aggressive player. Bishop f3, attacking the queen. Bishop g4. Queen takes b7. Bishop takes f3. E takes f3. Queen takes f3. Knight e5, attacking the queen and the pawn. Queen takes c3. Knight takes c6, and now an absolutely unexpected move. Queen a3, a huge blunder. This is a mistake that will cost Firouzja the game. It was a quiet position that looked headed for a draw. Here, the better move was h6. An excellent move, preventing back-rank threats, which is exactly what we'll see in the game. Let's return to our game. As I mentioned, queen a3 was played by Firouzja. A huge mistake. Knight b8. What an extraordinary move. With this, white traps the queenside rook and exploits the weakness of the 8th rank, where mating threats could arise. A spectacular punishment delivered by the Viking. The Persian has no choice but to respond with rook takes b8. And now, another incredible move. Queen takes b8. This move is less flashy than the previous one, for obvious reasons, but it's still part of a master plan with which the Viking punishes the Persian. Well played, Magnus. Queen takes a2. Firouzja at least wins a pawn. Clearly it was a bad idea to play rook takes b8, due to rook takes b8 check. Queen f8. Rook takes f8 check. King takes f8. Rook b1, and white would easily win this endgame. Okay, back to the real game. As I said, queen takes a2 was played by Firouzja. Carlsen queen e5. Magnus prepares to simplify the position through a massive exchange of pieces. h5. Rook b8. Let me repeat, the Norwegian isn't here to play games. He's aiming to clear the board and eliminate any chance of counterplay from black. In other words, he wants to reach a winning endgame. Rook takes b8. Queen takes b8 check. King h7. Queen b1 check. White forces the queen exchange. Queen takes b1. Rook takes b1. g6. Rook a1. King g7. Rook takes a7. Done. White removes black's only counterplay, namely the pawn on the f-file, and now it's just a matter of wrapping things up. A piece of cake. Knight e4. King g2. Knight g5. Rook a5. Knight e4. King f3. White's king begins to advance in the position. This is absolutely necessary. As the first world champion in history, the Austrian Wilhelm Steinitz once said, in the endgame, the king must become an attacking piece. Knight f6. h3. Knight d7. King e4. Knight f6. Rook a6 check. King g7. King d5. Knight f6 check. Alireza tries to build a fortress, keeping the knight close to the king. King e5. Knight d7 check. King d6. Carlsen, little by little, is gradually leaving the knight with no moves. Knight f6. Rook a4. King f8. f3. With this, the knight has no more aggressive jumps and is forced to stay tucked away in its own territory. Carlsen then aims to suffocate black, leaving them without any useful moves. Knight e8 check. King e5. King g7. Rook a6. Knight c7. Rook c6. Knight e8. f4. And this is where Alireza Firouzja resigns the game, as the knight has no more moves left. After something like king f8, this would continue with rook c8, pinning the knight. King e7. Rook takes e8 check. King takes e8. King f6. King f8. h4. King e8. Pawn to f5. Pawn takes f5. King takes f5. Then the h5 pawn will fall, and it's game over for black. An extraordinary victory for Magnus Carlsen, who from the very first game of the grand final showed he was going to completely overpower Alireza Firouzja. And just like that, it was done. Magnus Carlsen didn't just win the tournament. He also took home $250,000. Not bad at all, right? I hope you enjoyed the game and my analysis. Don't forget to support this video with a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. See you in the next one. Take care.